So, do you still enjoy going on dates with your husband?
Oh, God, yes.
Welcome to the Strong Like a Mother podcast with Cherie
and Jada. We're doing your best. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect. What is something you guys, what is your favorite type of date night?
I mean, we love food. I don't think you can live in Louisiana and not have an appreciation for food.
Good food.
Good food. I mean, we love to go get dinner and have like a fancy, not even fancy, but like a high-end dinner where your food is hot when you eat it and you don't have to, manage, okay, well, can I watch my show, while we eat dinner? Can I do this? And you can just sit there and chit chat. So
yeah,
we love that. And then we really love going to concerts together.
That is something we've not gotten to do a lot of, but I'm hoping that we build up and do more of those shows, experiences. We've gone to plays for our daughter.
Yeah.
We've also gone for his cousin. She's also an actress. But those are fun, different types of dates because they're more experiences, which food can be an experience depending on where you go.
Yeah.
But those experiences really create those true memories. I can't always remember what I ate all the time, but those hangout vibes of like a concert or a play or a comedy show.
Yeah. It's just, you're right, it's different vibes. Although, look, I have had a few food experiences that I will never forget those in my entire life.
For better or for worse, huh?
Oh, man. Well, that is true. I was mostly thinking of the better ones. We love, and you and I went to STK when we were in Nashville. STK is one of our most favorite restaurants, and we typically go when we're in Orlando because we're very fortunate that my mother-in-law comes with us when we go to Disney, and she always gives us a date night. So we've done STK almost every time because it is so incredible. It's a memorable meal. It's a very high-end meal, but it's just one of those you go and you're like, oh my God, this was so good, so delicious. But we love concerts. We have loved concerts really individually before we got together.
Yeah.
And then we go to concerts together when we were dating. And then after we got married, I mean, it's been a constant. We had maybe a year or so after Levi was born where we didn't really go to a lot of concerts because it is a tougher thing to coordinate because it's a later night.
Yeah.
So, you kind of have to be mindful of that when they're that little, but COVID really put a damper on us. We had so many, it's so funny. The Christmas before COVID hit, we decided that 2020 was going to be the year of life experience.
Woo! You really experienced life.
Yeah. Not the life I wanted to, but, it's one of those things. But we had like multiple concert tickets because that's what we got each other concert tickets for Christmas that year. And even our families got us concert tickets. We still have one show that has been rescheduled to this year that we bought back in 2019.
Wow.
That we still have not made it to. So we will see if this will be the year that we actually make it to that concert. But that's probably, it's just, there's something about live music that just speaks to your soul, at least it does for us. And Dustin's a guitar player, so he loves, any kind of like rock, it doesn't really matter. Old rock, new rock, alt rock, punk rock, 90s rock, 80s, rock, like he's all about it. So it's just one of those things that we have enjoyed so much together. And live music, it just kind of transports you to just a different state of mind, I think.
Yeah.
And so that's probably, aside from food, because we do food probably more often than not, but the concerts are a favorite of ours. What about y'all?
So we eat a lot, which is usually the restaurant thing. It's just the easy go-to thing.
Yeah.
And so we recently have been like, I want to try different things. I don't want date nights to always look the same.
Yeah.
My goal is to not have a structured marriage or a structured relationship that it kind of looks different, create the different experiences. So we talked about this before. We love travel dates and traveling with each other.
Yeah.
But one of the simplest things, and I've been documenting this on my Instagram stories, is every Saturday morning, we have older girls now, So please don't come with us. But we go and we walk.
Yep.
And we just hang out and we talk, and we don't have kids interrupting us, trying to chime in and one up us in a conversation. And we can just spend time and decompress, and it's relaxing and it's just fun just to go and hang out.
Yeah.
And I love it. But we used to do that when we were dating. We used to go walk around the lakes around LSU, and it just used to be the coolest thing. Just walking and talking, and eventually, depending on the time of year, you're sweating and all kinds of stuff.
And then you're freezing.
Yeah, whatever it is, layered up. Like, I mean, we started this ritual with the Saturday date walk this year, and there were some where, like, I probably had on about 3 layers of pants because it was, low 30s, which I know people live in colder climates, but I am from South Louisiana. I'm not built for it.
Yeah.
So, but that is one of, honestly, it's just it's free and I love it. It's fun. I love just hanging out.
I think it's so important to get that quality time in without your kids.
Yes.
Because obviously, you think about when you're dating and early on in your relationship and how that's all you do. Everything you do is quality time based, no matter if it's going to a concert or if you're going to eat or, whatever it is that you like to do at that point in your life. Everything is quality time because you're spending time with that person. You're getting to know them. And I think it's such an easy element to kind of let go of when you have kids. Because let's be honest, when you have children, life feels so much more chaotic than it did before. Because just to get out of the door, you're packing a diaper bag and, let me pack a change of clothes, and do we have snacks or bottles or, whatever. Even now, I'm like, okay, we have a change of clothes in the car. We, all of the different things, you've got to think of a lot more. So you get out less, I think, after kids, because it is hard. And then you just get caught up in that hustle and bustle of the day-to-day.
And everybody's tired.
Everybody's tired. You go to work, you come home, you cook dinner, you're tired. You need that time to like zone out too. At least I do. What we do, we talk a lot. I talk all day long. I would love to see a study. I probably need to do a time study to see just how much time I actually spend talking during the day.
Because now you do a podcast, so.
Well, and look, I'm good at talking, so, and I enjoy it, but I think come the end of the day, I hit that point where I just need like to zone out for a little bit, and so sometimes I'm guilty of, I've got the phone and I'm, just because, not that I don't want to talk, it's just that I'm just overstimulated at that point. So I think it's an easy thing to just, it slips out of your fingers without you even noticing it.
Right. I think one of those things is we're both in customer service jobs. Mm-hmm. And so like at the end of the day, he's had enough of talking to people.
Yeah.
I've had enough of talking to people and my kids, everybody. I just want to like hang out, watch my show, scroll through my phone. It's the end of the day. So on Saturday mornings, not early mornings do I thrive, but in the mornings that like we're refreshed, we haven't had the opportunity yet to be overstimulated. Yep. So those are usually good. But I agree with you, just the hustle and bustle. So last week, my mom, I texted her and said, hey, you want your grandkids? You want them to come hang out? She's like, okay, well, this works Friday night. And I'm telling you, the work it took, even with older kids, to get them out of the house, I'm like, is this even worth it?
Yeah.
We had nothing planned. I just knew I kind of wanted some time with them not home.
Yeah.
So I did all that work to like get them out of the house with the hopes of just doing nothing, just like hanging out, sitting in quiet, sitting in peace.
Yeah. And
I was like on my way to my mom's house, like regretting. It's like, man, like this was way more work. This wasn't even worth it. But, Saturday we went on our walk and he went to his small group. He came back. He said, hey, let's go to Waffle House. Let's get breakfast. And then he was like, hey, let's go to the movies. And so we spent the day together on Saturday.
Yeah.
And so if I wouldn't have made that effort to get my kids out of the house, that's not how our Saturday would have looked.
Oh, yeah. Drastically different.
No. And we wouldn't have gotten to do even half of that stuff. We wouldn't have been motivated to do half of that stuff because the kids would have been home. Mm-hmm. So it was worth that exerted effort.
Yeah.
And wasn't even my intention to make it a date day. I knew we would probably do something and hang out, but not like spend the day together.
Yeah.
But it's nice to flourish that relationship that's separate from being a parent and a mom and dad. Do you ever find it interesting when people are like, having kids is going to make my relationship even better? I don't think it makes it worse. Well, I'm going to say that. I don't think it makes it better just naturally.
Yeah. I think in the beginning, it takes work to figure out how to balance it all. And so I think in the beginning, it's easy for it to feel like it's not flourishing because you are in this totally just new stage of life that you have no idea how to manage, and it can be difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that never has really resonated, let's have a baby and it's going to make it even better. And I think in some ways it does. Like, you think about after having a baby, I think, and I hope from their point of view, your husband's point of view or your partner's point of view, that they're maybe in awe of like everything that you accomplished giving them a child if you were pregnant. And so I think that can give like this admiration from them. And then likewise, when they step up, and I mean, Dustin was so great. Like, he would help me. We mostly bottle fed because Levi just could not tolerate my milk. And so whenever he would hear Levi, before I would even hear Levi, he was up making a bottle so that I could get a little bit more sleep. And in those moments, I think it can make you appreciate them, and it can deepen your relationship.
Right.
But I think that it takes work from both people, both partners, to really, it's not a 50-50. It's each person's giving 100% as often as they can.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there are times whenever we don't have the capacity to give 100%, and that's why it is important to give 100% when you can, because when you can't, your partner is picking up your other 30% slack.
Right.
In whatever capacity, in managing your household or your children or your relationship or whatnot. I mean, there are times when I'm planning dates, and then there are times when Dustin is planning dates. Yeah. So I think that is a tough thing if you go into having kids and thinking, this is just going to make our relationship better. It can, but it's going to take work to make it better.
Absolutely. I think initially I had this false sense of reality of what it was like, that everything just kind of flowed.
Yeah.
I am thankful that we have been solid in relationships in deciding to have each of our children.
Yeah.
Not that we haven't had difficult times, but I couldn't imagine bringing them in or going through the newborn phase or anything like that if our relationship wasn't okay at that time.
Yeah.
Because it rocks you every time. And so that's why it is always been very important for us to remember what it was like to date.
Yeah.
And literally the priest, when we got married in the Catholic Church. And so we had to go through the pre-Cana and all that stuff. And we had to meet with the priest. And nobody tell him we had a kid already. But he didn't need to know. He didn't ask. But he said, whenever you have kids, you got to remember to still date each other. He said, because one day those kids will leave.
Yeah.
And you'll just be left with each other.
Yeah.
And that always kind of stuck for me. And they had never been married. He had some solid advice, and that was kind of true.
Yeah.
So for a little bit of time in being parents, we kind of lost that. And that dates don't always have to be super expensive.
Yep.
They don't have to be super fancy. Just really just that time where you build up your relationship and you know, give each other that 100% present time and being with each other is just so important. I know for my own family, I mean, my parents, got divorced when The Last of Us was getting out of high school.
Yeah.
And I've seen that. That's common. I think parents put so much into their kids that they don't put enough into each other. And then, you know, when you're done with the thick of raising kids, you're like, who are you? What? Yeah. Why are we together? And I don't ever want that to be us. I want us to keep learning each other throughout the years, because we do evolve as people. So I couldn't imagine trying to, you know, living with you for 18 years and then being like, I don't even know you at year 19, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's very true. Like, I look at who I was when I got married and who I am today, and I am a completely different person. I mean, I still hold a lot of the same values, but my personality has changed because we grow. And, you know, we both got married when we were very young. We were early 20s.
Do not recommend.
And, you know, I look back now and I'm thinking, oh my God, if my child came to me at 20 and wanted to get married, I would be like, are you crazy? But I mean, it's worked for us, you know, like, I don't think it's right for everybody, but it was right for us.
Yeah.
And, I mean, but I'm so much more just assertive and confident, and I know what I want. I'm very clear on those things. I was not clear at 20 years old. You know, I had no idea. And so in one way, it's, I think, good and then bad. But if you appreciate that person and allow them to grow, because I think you don't ever stop growing. At least you shouldn't, in my opinion. You should always be pushing yourself, always be growing. But yeah, you don't want to wake up and have not grown with that person, with your partner, because ultimately you will wake up in 20 years and go, well, we don't have this commonality of children anymore. So what
do we
have? Yeah. There's not much left. So I do think it's really important to continue to date and really just invest in your relationship, which can be hard. I mean, our worlds really revolve around Levi. They don't revolve around us, you know, as much as it used to. So I think it's important to remember that, hey, we've got to take time away from them because ultimately they benefit from it also.
So what do you think about people who don't have the childcare to go and do it? Like, how do you make those opportunities to go out on dates? And I'll use an example. Some of my favorites are during the day. Mm-hmm. So, like, if Jared can make time in his schedule or he's off during the day and the kids are at school, well, that's childcare right there.
Yes.
So then we can go and we can hang out, maybe just go get lunch real quick or something like that.
Yeah.
But what do you think? What are your suggestions?
We also take advantage of that during the day if we can, mostly to go to the movies. We do that. Or sometimes we'll meet for lunch. But Levi being 5, like he's probably not age appropriate for the movies that we're ready to go watch. So yeah, we will definitely take advantage of those like daytime things. And then just the other night we were cooking dinner and we decided that we were going to just eat a little later. We got Levi fed, bath time, pajamas, that whole thing, put him down. You know, he normally goes down around 7:30, 7:45, and we sat down at 8 o'clock and ate dinner, just the two of us. Just, you know, I think you can definitely do it. If you don't have childcare, you just have to get creative. Like, you know, can you eat dinner a little later? Can you wake up early and make yourself a cup of coffee and go sit on your back porch and watch the sunrise and chit chat and just have that quality time together? Because it is, and you know, COVID taught us a lot of that. Honestly, to go back to that is we weren't going out. We weren't, you know, really doing anything. So it's like, what can you do to get your quality time in when you don't have the childcare? Because, you know, we've got a lot of family that they do work in the medical field. I mean, we really did not see any of our family in person for probably 6 or 8 months. You know, we would maybe do little outside picnics here or there. But there wasn't any like, okay, you know, you're going to watch our child for us.
Right.
So we just had to get creative. So I think you can definitely make the most of it. You just have to, one, set your expectations and go, well, we do still have a child, it is what it is, but we're gonna make it work and set aside these times. Use those nap times. We have watched so many movies over the course of nap time. I mean, it's so great with Netflix and Amazon Prime, and I think we've officially closed that chapter. Levi, every now and then will catch a nap, but even when I put him down for a nap when I feel like he needs it, I don't force it every day like I used to. Like we used to live by that schedule. He will take a nap every now and then, even when I'm like, you just need to go lay down and rest. Even if you don't sleep, you need a rest because I can tell you're at your limits and it's time to just recharge for a minute. But utilize those,
Yeah.
When they go to bed. If you're like, we love to watch shows together in the evenings. We'll usually pick something that we both enjoy, put Levi down, and we eat dinner a lot together as a family. We don't do just us dinner very often, but we love to just, pop some popcorn and watch, whatever series we're watching. So I think that's really how you make the most of that time if you don't have the childcare.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So what do you think you want to do? What do you want date nights to look like this year for you guys?
So I really think that it's important at least once a month to get a date night in. If you can do it more often, 100% do it more often. Our minimum is we've got to do it at least once a month because it gives you that dedicated reconnection. You have something to look forward to. So definitely once a month. And then just a variety of experiences. Like, let's not only do dinner. Like one of our favorite pastimes is honestly, we love to go walk around Barnes & Noble and kind of just like look at books and, oh, look what I found. And, Barnes & Noble has just like tons of cool stuff in there.
Yeah,
and
the
so
kids actually like it.
Right? So, to mix it up and do dinner, and then maybe the next date is we just go grab some coffee and we walk around Barnes & Noble, or we go to Topgolf, or to kind of incorporate a variety of date nights just to kind of mix things up. And, it gives you something to look forward to when you're counting down at the end of the week, like, okay, we're going to go out, we're going to get some fun alone time where we can just have quality time together. So what about y'all? What are your goals, and what do you want date night to look like this year?
So I mentioned this already. Every Saturday morning that we go for our date walk. So this past weekend made week 10. So hopefully we can finish that out through the year. But as many as we can in the month, but at least one a month where the kids are gone, so they're more of an overnight date night, to where we don't have to rush home if we go to a late dinner or anything like that, or just most importantly, you don't wake up to somebody saying, "Mom, fix me a cup." Or what's for breakfast?
Right. You can actually sleep in.
A good 24-hour date is my goal for at least once a month. Just, but I agree. I definitely want to diversify the experiences on the dates and do more, like you said, the Topgolfs. I mean, the movies are coming back with some better stuff these days. I don't know. That's still in the running.
Yeah.
The axe throwing stuff. Maybe go somewhere and do like a hike somewhere.
Yeah.
Just different things to just learn new things about each other, create new memories. Oh, we've never done this. Oh, we will never do this again. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever those are. So hopefully, I'm not going to even say hopefully, we definitely will make some new memories this year and put some more things on our list of we do like these as date nights, and been there, done that kind of date nights.
For sure. So I know we normally do a Strong Mother Award, but I think we should mix it up a little bit and just kind of give a cheers and appreciation to our wonderful hubbies.
Yeah.
Because they have been so supportive of the podcast and our careers. I mean, because when you're a working mom, I really don't know how the single moms do it. Kudos to you ladies, because I could not do what I do and do it on the level that I do without the support of Dustin. He's truly just a partner in every way, that we kind of face things together and manage our household together, and I mean, everything in our life. It's like, okay, we're tag teaming. So I definitely think that they deserve a shout out because they are both great champions of us.
Absolutely. My husband is a dad of 3 girls, and just seeing how he loves on them is going to make it really hard for them to find somebody later. But I just appreciate him supporting whenever I have these wild ideas, and being a number one supporter of me and the girls. And we've been together for a very long time, and I'm very thankful that we've continued to grow together as we've grown as individuals over the past 17 years.
Yep.
So it's just crazy, and I'm very grateful that we are just, I don't know, that he's so awesome.
Yeah.
So,
well, cheers to you guys, to Dustin and to Jared, for being the great supportive husbands that you are. We
and
love
putting
y'all.
up with us.
And putting up with us, for sure. So, alrighty. Well, if you guys miss us in between episodes, you know where to find us at Strong Like a Mother Podcast on Instagram, where you can find us. We are always there. Shoot us a message, and we would love to know what your favorite date nights are.
See you guys next Tuesday.